Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. If you have to pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now, as this will most likely be a lengthy discussion. We've got a lot to talk about. Looks like the government is in the process of reopening, calling up those hundreds of thousands. That's right, hundreds of thousands of federal employees, government employees, federal employees, employees from everywhere, getting everybody back to work. Everybody back to work. They should have never had to leave work. 43 or 44 days, the longest government shutdown in history. Looks like everybody has decided to come back from their vacation or whatever. You know, people can say many different things, but it's like, I feel it's completely ridiculous and unnecessary. You know, our government, right, left, whichever way you swing, they all need to come together. That's what your tax dollars and everything our tax dollars pay for, is for a working government. And for a shutdown that has gone on for over a month, you know, I just hope a lot of these employees who are able to get their back pay, because there's been a lot of questions about that, a lot of job losses. Is it full return? Is it a full return here of employees? I sure hope so. But that's the dark of the conversation. Let's move on to some of the good things. So as of today, it looks like Indiana and Kentucky has started rolling out the full benefits for November. I guess the back benefits for November. Don't quote me on that. This is from different articles that I have read of things going on. It does look like Ohio's going to take a little longer, but people should get or receive most, if not all, of their SNAP benefits near the end of the month. It looks like Ohio's going to take a little longer, but from what I understand, there's been a lot of government, a lot of state governments that have stepped in and gone ahead and paid a lot of people their benefits. So hopefully that has helped you. I know we have a lot of people on the channel who require their SNAP benefits. And, you know, this whole situation, guys, it's just been a storm of craziness. But I'm hoping that, you know, we just pull ourselves out here a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. Let's just breathe it in, grin and bear it, as I like to say, and, you know, just roll with the punches, I guess, because it is what it is at this point. But the thing that I really need to talk about here, guys, is the state of grocery prices. There's been a lot of talk on grocery prices lately and how a lot of groceries have been going up in price. There have been quite a few, okay? Usually what we notice, especially this time of year, is we'll find some incredible sales, usually on different holiday items. Then we'll see them slip that regular price into a higher regular price. We've been seeing that a lot with coffee. As a matter of fact, I really haven't seen any decent coffee deals lately. Now, Kroger just had one over the weekend here on their own brand coffee for $6.99. I hope you guys took advantage of that. I really do. I know we have probably thousands of viewers on the channel who drink Kroger coffee, and it's $13.99 regular price, $6.99 on sale. You will be seeing this video hopefully close to after I'm done filming it here. Okay, today is Sunday, November 16th, 2025. Okay, so Kroger is going to have this deal on Monday, the 17th, as well. So if you have not gotten some of those 3-day weekend deals that they unleashed this weekend, make sure you take advantage of that tomorrow, because it's going to be the last day, and who knows the next time we will see coffee on sale. Okay, I was at Sam's Club today. Not going to spoil too much, but I did notice some price increases on a lot of different things that we've been seeing. Price increases over the last few months, even over a year, on meat products. But not just meat now. We're finding some fish. We're finding pork. We're finding other items that have been going up in price. Now, I finally, you know, started going over some of these things at Sam's Club, because it was starting to get a little frustrating. And it's like, we have to talk about these things, because I like to show these things, because if you find a sale on it, you know what the price is going to be at one place, and you want to make sure that you're able to save money, right? Because it's all about saving money in the grocery stores. Something that you have to do every day of your life, right? Eat, right? You got to eat. We got to save in these kind of departments of food. I know that may not make sense, but I'm just, you know, I just want to make sure that everybody's able to save as much as they can. And Sam's Club today was a bit of a disappointment. I'm not going to lie. I have that video coming out tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you check it out. It's a little eye-opening, but I can't say it's nothing too shocking because at this point, it's like nothing really shocks us anymore. Right? I mean, it's like these things, like with coffee, one thing I've noticed at Sam's Club is we've been finding less and less sales on coffee, if any, right? And we're finding things that are shrinkflating and going up in price, like almost at the same time. They don't even give you a couple months anymore. It's like Dunkin' went up in price. Now it's been up in price. It didn't go up again. It's been up for a couple months. Okay. But we saw the shrinkflation in it too. The big things at Sam's Club went from 45 ounces to 40 ounces. And it's just, that's to me is ridiculous. It's like, wow, it's like you're telling me don't buy Dunkin' anymore. Like that's how I look at it, right? Or don't buy Folgers. Because even the Folger prices at Sam's Club are absolutely ridiculous. Sure, you're going to save a little teeny tiny bit in size comparison when you're buying it like Kroger or Meijer or any other store for that matter, even Walmart, even their own other owned place, it's more money at Walmart. Cheaper, regular price by a couple pennies maybe, but come on, it's outrageous. But beef, meat prices, produce is another thing too. Now, as to where Sam's Club has amazing deals on produce when you do price comparisons and stuff like that, it's still more than it has ever been. It's still more than it's ever been. And I don't get this thing with, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to spoil the whole video, but the one thing I don't get, it's like the watermelons, okay? Like, get rid of them. Like, still carry them, but $8.92, I can't imagine people are paying almost $9 for a watermelon. I mean, there's other places you can get watermelon for that's going to be cheaper than that, in or out of season. That's crazy. But anyway, now, one thing that we've been seeing a lot lately has been some pretty gaping holes in some stores. We've seen some shortages on Maxwell House coffee at like Kroger. We've seen shortages of canned goods, canned fruits. Some of you have talked about canned vegetables being... somebody just mentioned Great Value, that you couldn't find any Great Value corn. Now, that's not too surprising because last year we were having the same trouble finding Great Value corn. Now, I will say... and you may have already checked, but I just wanted to mention Walmart, and along with most stores right now, are having big sales out in the middle aisles. Like our Walmart has a huge island of just the corn and green beans, 50 cents a can. Okay, so they may be putting that out there to help push that. Okay, and people are becoming more and more aware also. People are becoming more and more aware because I know that just from going to Walmart and seeing everything get wiped out. Now, I don't think it's much of an issue on this, but some people have been talking about rice and dry beans again. It's funny how these things always go hand in hand. Maybe because they're in the same aisle or usually right next to each other in the grocery store. As to where I haven't seen price increases on it, every time I go to Walmart, they are next to empty on dry rice. One of you guys mentioned this, and I thought we should probably talk about this because some of them have gone up in price, but some of them haven't. It's funny that the Great Value brand has gone up in price, but Mahatma is the same price that it's been for months. So, I know Great Value quality is usually pretty good, but I mean, when the name brand, when the more expensive brand, when you're getting up to the same price as the most expensive brand, at that point, I guess you got to just ask yourself, like, which do you like better? Like, is it worth spending 20, 25 cents more on Mahatma? Right? Now, this kind of comes into play with a lot of things that you guys know that I buy, and that's canned fruits by Great Value. I'm telling you right now, if it was $2.44 for the canned fruits that I buy at Walmart, I would pay that price more than I would Del Monte. Not because... it's because I like the Great Value better. The quality's better. It's always... so many times I've bought Del Monte canned fruits. I love Del Monte canned vegetables, but for some reason, I don't know, the canned fruits just don't taste... they just don't taste right to me. And it's been time and time and time and time again over the years. And now I'm getting Great Value, which have gone up a lot, actually, comparatively speaking. Okay, Great Value's gone from $1.48 for the ones that I buy, $1.48 to $1.66 to $1.72. So they've gone up twice in the last couple months. Del Monte hasn't gone up at all. It's still $2.44 a can. And I guess what I'm getting at here is we're seeing store brands get almost as much or more expensive than name brands. I saw that with a couple things at Sam's Club today, which I'm going to leave that for you guys to watch tomorrow because, like I said, I don't want to spoil everything, But I don't really look at it too much as spoiling because I do want you guys to know this information as fast as possible. But at the same time, there is kind of an entertaining factor that I add to some of my videos that I just don't want to ruin for you guys, Some of it's kind of a surprise, I want you to enjoy the video. But I had a main focus today on looking at the things that you guys have been talking about. A lot of you guys have been talking about, well, yeah, no, we're all complaining. I'm complaining about the prices all the time, every day. I may not say it or talk about it in every video, mostly because I try to point out all the positive things, but we can't point out all the positive things without talking about some of the negative as well. Because when we do talk about the negative, we are positively bringing out this information so that you are aware of what's going on. Does that make sense? See that little turn I put on that there? Guys, it's one thing after another. If we've learned anything from the last few years, it's that we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared for situations like this. We have the holidays coming. I almost feel like this was like a couple years ago. If you guys remember, Kroger came out with this slew of sales, and not just Kroger. I use Kroger as an example because it's one we can mostly all compare to. But then all of a sudden it was like right before Thanksgiving, it was like the only thing that was really worth talking about was the turkeys, right? Because everything else had gone back, not fully up in price, but we saw where the regular prices were going up, driving the sale prices up. I say this every time I go to the store. We're never going to see the same kind of deals that we saw in the buy 5 or more, save $1 each deal, right? Unless it's some of the products that haven't gone up in regular price yet. That's why we always talk about regular prices, because that is kind of the measuring stick that we use of what that sale price is going to be. Whether it's a thing of pasta that was $2.99 before and we could get it for $1.99. Well, now that it's $3.29, and now it's going to be $2.29 on the buy 5 or more. You see what I'm saying? It's like the regular price goes up, that sale price is going to go up too. Now, sometimes places like Kroger, Meijer, even Walmart on some rollback offers, sometimes they surprise us. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, well, they're actually having it on that sale, right? Then that is something that they have way too much product and they're just trying to get rid of. Because every store, in my opinion, is trying to get every penny that they can. Some of you guys have talked about the Kroger thing with the pennies. I know a lot of people are having an issue with it. So what they do, and this is another way that they have you like locked in their system. I know some of you guys don't want to do the digital coupons or the cards or anything like that, but basically how that works is, I believe even if you pay cash, what will happen is that will go onto your Kroger Plus card. Okay, if there's any pennies left over, that actually carries and will come off of your next purchase, right? It is money that you're not losing. Okay, so even if you pay cash. However, the thing that I deal with that, I don't deal with it personally because I do all the digital coupons. They know who you are anyway, guys. I mean, they see you walking to their cameras everywhere. They're watching you. They know what you're buying, whether you're putting in a card or not, right? I mean, they do. They may not send you the coupons like they send me, right? That's another thing I like. And that's part of it. It really is. They'll send me coupons of the things that I buy. I know some of you are going to say that you don't like that. You feel like that's maybe an invasion of your privacy. I look at it like, well, every time I get those book of coupons, I'm saving like $20. I got some for Powerade. I got 2 free Powerades like 2 weeks in a row. So I got 4 Powerades for free. And some of those coupons I gave away to some of our viewers. When people run into me, I'm like, hey, here's some coupons, I need to get one of those money guns, you know what I'm saying, where you put the money, right, and then you shoot the money everywhere. Or, I know people probably Monopoly money or whatever. I need to get that with coupons, so I can just fling coupons everywhere. Oh, that'd be fun. Anyway, one thing though, and I know some of you guys have said this, I don't know how true this is going to be, but it does seem like whether it's all happening at the same time or not, it could be ironic. It could be careful planning. Okay? I think grocery stores knew that the government was going to, they knew the government was going to open up at some point here, right? We've been seeing these incredible deals, incredible sales. I've been going over all kinds of deals and sales lately. All kinds. There's been a lot of them, okay? Which usually is this time of year. However, some places, the sales that they're having now, I haven't been impressed with any of it. None of it. Now, I will say the Kroger deal that they have going on, the buy 5 or more of these items are 99 cents. All the items on that buy 5 or more deal they have this week is the 99-cent items, which if you use those items, sure, that's great. But there's not many on that list, and there's not many other sales. Other than a few things like sugar and, Jiffy corn muffins for 50 cents. The holiday stuff, the stuff that always gets cheap before Thanksgiving. That stuff's on sale, and that's all well and good. But not many sales on a lot of other things. Now, I do believe stores have carefully done this in a way to where they're going to still make the maximum amount of money. And they got a plan for everything. They got a plan for employees, the workforce. This time of year, they're probably going to be paying a lot of time and a half, maybe even double time at some stores because, everybody's shopping. You can tell on the roads. And I know I'm not just speaking for myself here. Traffic has been relentless here over the weekend. And it's because everybody's out shopping. Everybody's out shopping. I've been to 2 different Krogers, and both parking lots are hard to find a parking space. I mean, it is that time of year. It is the time of year where it gets a little frustrating for me when you're doing a lot of traveling to these places and you're parking a mile away from the entrance. But whatever, that's okay. Excuse me. But, I don't want to harp on this too much, okay? But there is something I do want to talk about, and this has to do with not just food, okay? Some of you have discussed or talked about some different things at some other stores like Target, even Walmart, and some other places that sell clothes, some of the cheaper options, okay? I saw somewhere where a lady was talking about a shirt, okay, that she bought at Target, and there was a tag on it that said $8, but it rang up $10. Okay, I'm not going to say who or where, but I mean, this person said, well, it rang up $10, and what they said was it was due to tariffs. Okay, that these prices had gone up due to a tariff, which I don't know if that employee really knew. And again, this was just something that I saw, but at the same time, the shirt did ring up $10. So that went up in price, which is kind of rare because we haven't seen a lot of discount stores. Like, Target clothing is pretty decently priced. Walmart clothing is very well priced. But we've heard a couple, stories of how prices have been wrong and that this is the excuse they're using. Okay? Now, it could be true. It could be true, and this person was able to get the shirt for $8. Okay, because it had the sticker on it. They worked it out, and they apologized and all that stuff. So I thought that was cool. They honored the sticker that they had. But, we're seeing more and more things like this where people are just saying things and just saying, oh, no, the price is different. A lot of you guys have talked about the digital stickers and how what's nice for the company for a digital sticker is they can literally change that price on the shelf before you get to the daggone cashier. And I'll even admit, when I was reading some comments of people saying that, I'm like, no, they'll probably do that in the middle of the night or something. They can't do that during the day. Maybe they can. I hear a story like this, and it's like, oh, like you could be shopping for something and it go up in price like before you even get to the register. This is why I talk about taking photos. This is why I talk about taking a photo of the price. And then if they want to refuse to sell it to you for that price at that point, just don't buy it, Because if they're going to just not honor it, which I'm sure most stores will, I've probably had an issue with Walmart or Target buying something over the years. Not that I can really remember, though. If it was probably my mistake. But most of these places are pretty good about this stuff, and they're going to honor the price. Okay, at least here in the whole Cincinnati, Ohio area, I've never really had an issue. Outside of here, I don't know too much, but me and Jessica have traveled a lot in our past, and we've had issues in some places. I remember Buc-ee's. There was something that rang up wrong. They didn't even ask. They didn't look. We need a price check on aisle 7 for Cheetos. Whatever it was. I don't even remember. But they didn't even ask. They just put the price in. They don't want to hassle, right? They don't want to deal with all that. Most people don't. The only ones who do are ones that are having a bad day or just love the drama, I guess. But there's never really an issue. Never. But sometimes, there are things that happen, and it's like, whatever the case, and I guess the whole what I'm talking about this for is that other things are going up in price without us even having a chance to see it or know that, oh, this went up in price. Look what happened to electronics. Now, this is blamed on tariffs and all these companies, like what I was talking about like a few months ago. We were talking about cars. Remember cars? I heard a commercial, and they kept playing it over and over and over. These car prices are not affected by the tariffs. So they knew, or they just assumed, that prices on these things were going to be higher over the next couple months. Now, as history dictates, there's a pretty good chance. But you're literally using this as a marketing ploy, right? Because this is what the media and the news and everything else was hammering into everybody's brains, was that these things are going to go up. Now, I can't say nothing because I hammer this out there in everybody's brains. Chances are what you pay for your groceries today are going to be higher after the end of the year. After all these mega sales on canned goods and all this other stuff, all this stuff's going to go up in price. Again, the regular price hasn't changed on Campbell's Chunky Soup. It went up. It went from $2.79 a can to $2.99 a can. Are we finding deals on it? Yes, right now. But what's going to happen after that? Now, it can really, if you dive in like I do, it can really be a headache sometimes. But I try to just mellow out about it and just kind of deliver the information without getting too frustrated, right? Probably, I'm drinking a nice light coffee. This is that Green Mountain Dark Magic. Surprisingly not that strong. Anything dark magic you would think be pretty strong, but no, it's really good. It's actually, it's okay. Not a huge fan of Green Mountain coffee, but it's okay. Plus, I got a bunch of it for free when I bought my Keurig maker, so that was nice. One of you guys had mentioned you bought that, the Duo, and got all the coffee. It was a great deal. $139 for the Duo, the Keurig thing with the carafe, so you can do the pot coffee, the pot or the Keurig, and I love it. And at regular price, I got $80 worth of coffee for free. That would have been the price at Meijer that $219 for just that Keurig Duo at Meijer. Now, Meijer prices can be a little high on that kind of stuff, and you always want to check around, check Amazon. But we got that on QVC. Apparently you did too. Congratulations. It's one of the best buys I've made in years. I love it. Some of you guys have been asking when are me and Jessica going to be going on some trips. We got some stuff planned, I will say. We got some holiday adventures planned. We're not just doing the coffee rant videos or the store videos. Thank you to everyone who has been watching our holiday shopping videos. Guys, I love having my wife with me on these trips. She is just so enlightening and so happy. She is the Christmas queen, as I call her. She loves the holidays. She loves decorating. It's been so much fun taking you guys with us to do the holidays at Hobby Lobby. We went to the new Five Below. It was cool. It was cool. And we did actually get some Christmas presents from there. So, it's a cool place to shop. They got a lot of Christmas stuff. But at Big Lots, guys, Big Lots, which you probably just saw that video this morning. I got my love for Big Lots back. I that they nail it, and I'm sorry. We had a lot of viewers mention this morning in the comments that a lot of your Big Lots have never returned. I hate that. I do. Big Lots is kind of on a new thing now. I do believe, I tried to look it up. Do believe that some of them, like I said in the video at Big Lots, I do believe a lot of them are owned by Ollie's now, or vice versa, or together or something. It could be like the Sears Kmart thing. I don't really know. Hopefully it all stays together. Because Big Lots at the holidays, if you're looking for like different decor and stuff like that, different little gizmos and gadgets and lights, you can't beat the prices. I mean, they're just, and the fact that they have the stuff that you can't find anywhere else. I was amazed by the prices at Big Lots. Not just on the Christmas stuff. They had some couches, a really nice couch at Chase. Yeah, if you didn't see our video on Big Lots, check that out after you're done with this one. We had a great time, and there's all kinds of good deals. I almost feel like a Big Lots would be worth traveling to, if you have one within a reasonable distance. But they got a lot of cool stuff coming in, a lot of good like different snacks, a lot of healthy snacks. That's a lot of the like protein packed like peanut, like different protein nut bags, like almonds and then like cashews and then just different things that are like mixed together in ways that are, healthier snacks and stuff like that for good prices. That's what I like. And we saw some things that have returned to Big Lots that a lot of you guys have been missing. And I know some of you that left in the comments before are some that your Big Lots never returned. And I hate that. I wish they would all open again. I love Big Lots. I always have. I hate that they closed. Some of you guys were asking about what we were talking about, the rewards program. I think it's gone. I think it's completely gone. I was looking at my rewards thing, and the last coupon that I got was from February of February of 2025. So, and that's when they closed. They reopened a few months ago, but it's not part of that same program. So the lady had said that the employee said that they're working on that to work with. I'm assuming Ollie's. Ollie's has a point program, like a program or like a rewards program. So I don't know. Maybe those will kind of come together at one point. I'm not really too sure. We'll just have to see what happens. But I will say that the products at Big Lots were very decently priced. I almost felt like with everything we bought, we saved that 20% off entire purchase coupon. Right? I told you guys in that video that we spent $100. I felt like we saved $75, $80. Maybe somewhere $60 to $80. Somewhere in there. With what we got, we saved. I mean, compared to some prices of things everywhere else. We go over that a little bit. But anyway, guys, keep your eye out for any price increases at the grocery store. Please let us know down in the comments what you are noticing out there, because I can't cover it all. We don't have all the stores, right? But, if you shop at Publix regularly, or if you shop, any major grocery stores out west, like Food for Less, they're owned by Kroger, or any stores out east, like Albertsons, let us know. Let us know the deals. You may be helping your neighbor, by doing this. Let us know some of the sales, some of the holiday sales that some of these stores have going on right now, because one thing is for sure, prices are not going down. Regular prices are not going down. I just hope they quit going up. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.